Good evening, everyone. Futures Brizio here. 8:30 p.m. on Thursday, November 7th, 2024. Hope everybody had a great day. And just doing a little post-market wrap here and maybe talk about what we might see tomorrow heading into Friday. Of course, Fridays always um, tend to be a little slow. Can start off good, but tend to, burn out pretty quick. So just always keep that in mind if you're going to trade on Friday, whether you choose to hold through the weekend or not. But as always, make sure you smash that like button before we get started. Subscribe to the channel if you're just finding it for the first time. And make sure you ring the bell notification so you know as soon as I post something new. And as always, questions or comments, please leave them down below. Happy to get to it and answer any questions. All right, so let's just jump right in. So this is, let me just zoom out a little bit. So we'll first look at the S&P 500, and it pretty much tells the tale. This is since election day on Tuesday. It's been pretty much parabolic straight up. And, if we go over and look at the futures, SPY, you can see we just continue to make new highs, and these are all-time highs, guys. There's nothing off to the left here, so there's really nothing to compare it to in terms of potential resistance zones. There just isn't anything here. These are just all-time highs, so we'll have to see what the S&P does, but look, there's no reason to fight an uptrend, and now we've got some pretty substantial momentum here. So until we break major structure, you have to just consider this market to be in an uptrend. So, and buying dips. So, we've got this little 1 hour zone here, and then we have this, what was this big 4 hour zone that the market respected and shot up from. So, continue to look for longs in S&P. Onto gold. So gold again, of course, also did break out after the election. So just get rid of this stuff because it doesn't apply anymore. So here's our breakout, and down here from a couple of days ago, we do have a little structure here on the hourly chart. Right there, you can see it. Actually, you can see it really good on the 15-minute chart. So again, I would say if this area holds, continue to look for longs in the gold market. And there's, if we go out to, we've got this 4 hour structure down here. It looks like price is, trying to go higher. We do have some overhead resistance up here. So, let's just keep an eye on this. Depending how the market views the economy going forward, we did have the Fed cut rates today, with the Trump election. So, gold's had a huge run, but we could potentially see weakness in gold now if the market kind of reads it as, more surety in the U.S. economy. That tends to have money flow out of gold because it's a safe haven asset. So, we'll see. On the hourly chart, we are making lower highs now, as you can see right here. We took out this structure basically right in here. We had this kind of major structure right in here, and that was broken, and now it appears maybe we're coming back to it. So again, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some money flow out of gold and have this go down at least for a while. But again, it's been in an uptrend for a long time, so you have to respect that. But even if you zoom out to the 4 hour chart, this move down obviously looks much different than any of these pullbacks that were kind of, choppy and sideways and extended. This is more parabolic to the downside, indicating potentially more aggressive selling. And again, we do have this 4 hour level down here, which probably will offer some support if it does make it down there. And so, we'll just have to see. But at least in the short term, I wouldn't be surprised if we see gold, continue to the downside with maybe a near-term target down around these lows here, which would be, again, a revisit of this previous zone down here. So, and, we have a lower high and a potential lower high put in right here and a lower low, so let's see. Let's keep an eye on it. But I think fundamentally gold has some chance to make some moves to the downside here after a big run up. So we'll see. Let's keep an eye on it. So moving on to natural gas. I do have a short here in natural gas with a short target here. I did move my stop to basically to break even. So it does still look pretty bearish here, in terms of this little correction, but we'll see. Just looking at natural gas on the higher time frame, we might be moving into a little bit of a sideways pattern here, which is why if I exit this trade, I wouldn't be too upset, because we could, like I said, we could be moving into a potential sideways action here. We could be starting to set up a range here, but we'll see. We've got this high and this low, and now we had price come up, come down, and neither one of these moves took out this high or this low. So again, we need to be cognizant of a potential ranging market setting up, but we'll have to see. And if it does start to range, then again, it's not anything that I'm interested in trading. So, but we'll see if that follows through. And natural gas has been trending really, really well, and obviously that's not going to go on indefinitely. So at some point, I do expect the market to take a pause and potentially go into some choppy sideways action for a while. Maybe this is it. I don't know. We'll have to see. But if it makes another push, up here and fails to take out this zone, then or down and fails to take out this lower area, then we know that we definitely are entering a consolidation period. So, so that's natural gas, and then on to crude oil. Crude oil does look like it's trying to push higher, and as I said yesterday, that actually would tend to follow along with fundamentals in terms of, again, if there's a lot of bullishness on the economy, then and business growth, and you need energy, and that's oil. And so higher low, higher low, higher low, higher high, equal high, but higher high here. So it's not very smooth price action, but oil usually isn't. If you zoom out and look at an oil trend, it usually is very choppy, and you're going to get kind of wild swings. And but on the 4-hour chart, we took out this zone up here. Okay, this was the previous swing on the 4-hour chart. We've now taken that out. So again, as I said yesterday, I kind of maintain a bullish, at least a short-term bullish bias here. You can kind of draw this as our most relevant zone right now. I'll just draw that over here. So there we go. All right. So again, price maintains this area. To me, that's a bullish sign. And so I'll wait and see if we can get some more buy signals here on a shorter time frame going into tomorrow. We're just kind of trending down right now, and quiet overnight trading. So, all right, and then on to copper. Copper has had a really nice tear up here. So just looking for zones here. Nothing really jumps out. Obviously, there's one way down here. If you look over like to the hourly chart, or the 30-minute chart, I'll get rid of that one. That was the breakout. We do have this zone here. I suppose you could say maybe there's one sitting maybe right in here. Actually, let's draw this one as a rectangle because it's not real clear. But maybe something like this in copper. And we'll see if that's respected. So, again, definitely have to consider this bullish in the meantime, to at least push back to these previous highs up here. And so copper does seem to be having an upside push. But again, if we zoom out a little bit, we do have a lot of resistance up here at this purple line here. You can see all these previous resistance up in here, previous support acting as resistance. So that's how I see copper. If it can get through here, again, we do have kind of a little bit of an imbalance zone, maybe sitting right here with this candle. So that would be just above here. So these might be like retail zones here. So we could see price come up here, poke through here, take out this imbalance, and then potentially turn lower. So if I were in a long, I'd be looking to manage it somewhere around where this arrow is, just above this purple line inside this imbalance candle as a short-term target. Now, if it gets through there, then I think it could go a lot higher, because the next level is sitting up here, and I don't really see any imbalance here, so I think price probably would just kind of float right through there. And this area, which had imbalance, was mitigated by this. So if we do get through this area, I think we definitely could make a run higher here, to where I'm not sure, but at least in the short term, I do kind of remain bullish on this. Again, we do have this zone right here. We do have this zone right here, which did lead to a new low. So we go back to the 4 hour, we had this price here, which led to this new low. So you do have to respect this area as a potential supply zone, because price has been up here before. So if this area holds, then we might turn lower. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if we poke through this level and go up a little bit higher and fill this imbalance. Although the last thing to point out on this is that, well, maybe not on that time frame. Let me get rid of this arrow just to unclog our screen. But right on the 4 hour chart, I guess we'll leave it at the 4. We do have an imbalance right about where price is sitting right now. So we'll have to watch this, because this could be a potential imbalance zone from which price then fades away back down again. So so it's a little bit uncertain with copper after this wild sideways zone. It punched up and then went down, made a new low, and then it's up again. So so are we going to manage down from an imbalance zone right here? Are we going to pop up to this purple line, or maybe just above, and then turn down? Or are we just going to, respect the short-term trend here and just keep heading higher? So we'll wait and see what happens with this one. But so I guess I'm pretty neutral on copper, because I can see a story as a case for either, as I was just talking about this going higher or selling off. So again, fairly neutral on copper from these levels. Again, I can definitely see a case for whether you want to be long or short in this market. So we'll kind of watch and see what happens tomorrow. I'm not going to trade this. I do occasionally take copper trades during the overnight session if I see a good setup. Not really keen on doing that tonight, just with this supply zone sitting right here that we could react from. So although this is a nice little pullback right here where I drew this zone, but doesn't mean that's going to be respected. It's just a box on the chart. So I do think that there's some uncertainty and direction here. Definitely not as clear. I'd love to see this, kind of establish a little bit more of a trend on the higher time frames than just these quick parabolic moves up that that don't last. So I'd like to see a nice trending market with some healthy corrections going on, and before you jump in, kind of like what we saw here before this sideways pattern, right? It's definitely trending down, but it had some nice healthy pullbacks and nice easy to read. When you have these just parabolic moves up with no pause, that often can lead to pretty violent moves back the other way again. So especially if this is driven just to tap liquidity before continuing down. So again, we do have a lower low and an equal high here, and so if this turns out to be a lower high and tapping into the supply, will go down. If we do get through here and push higher and don't get hung up around this area, then I think we'll go higher. But so really the area between where it is now, this is kind of the key area. If you want to just look at it from standpoint of a zone, not a trading zone, but where price could react from. Basically anywhere inside this box is kind of a reaction zone for me, whether it's at these highs, at this supply zone, or up here at this supply zone. But if it gets through here, then I don't think there's really much to stop it from going up quite a bit further. So let's see what happens with copper, but that's how I see it now. So All right, and yeah, that'll wrap it up, guys. So um, yeah, so we'll be. I'll jump back on tomorrow, and once we get through the overnight session, see how things are in the morning, and hopefully things will be a little more clear at that point, and we'll see how this all shakes out. Especially in copper, I'm really interested to see where this goes. S&P just continues to rock. Like I said, gold could see some downside potential just based on fundamentals. Um, Again, natural gas potentially heading into some sideways price action here just based on what it looks like, but we need a little bit more than that. And then oil, uh, I'm still mildly bullish on this. We are starting to put in some, albeit choppy, but higher highs and higher lows here. So, like I said, cautiously bullish in oil. So, all right, so I'll leave it there, guys. Again, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. I'll be back tomorrow. Have a great rest of your night, and we'll talk to you soon.